Alright guys, so I'm back with another quick video, man. So I thought I'd jump out here and do a little quick camera talk with you guys, man. So for the past, and I'm just jumping straight in. You guys know I don't script videos and stuff, so I'm just going straight in off the top. I was just thinking about this, and I just said, let me just share it real quick and see if I can get through it without doing too much rambling, because y'all know I start rambling like I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I just want to do a little bit of quick camera talk. So for the past month, I've been doing a lot of traveling. So in this last month, in like a week or so, I've been to Valdosta, Georgia. We had a showcase down there that was a couple of days. We were down there. Straight from there, we came home for 1 or 2 days. We went up to Blue Ridge for about 4 days. And then as soon as we came home from Blue Ridge, we had about a 1-day break, and then we went all the way out to Destin, Florida. And throughout that time, this was my setup that I took to take photos of the teams, the players and stuff like that, and just have a good time with the camera. I took my Canon 90D, and here goes another airplane. That's like the 6th airplane that done flew by, and I done restarted this video. We just gonna rock with it. The wind's starting to blow. We just gonna rock with it. But anyway, this is my setup I took. I took my 90D and I took my 70 to 200 F4. This is the whole setup that I took. This is the only thing I took, and I took 3 batteries, right? And I didn't even really have to use all 3 batteries because this camera just shoots amazing, and it just doesn't burn through batteries. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But this was my setup. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about, man, is during that time that I was just kind of moving about in this past month, shooting photos, sports photography, all of that good stuff. And I'm speaking to beginners, novice, amateurs, hobbyists. I'm not speaking to anybody professional. So if you are a professional, if you are a professional, this video is not for you. So don't get on here and say nothing random because, bro, I ain't got time, right? But throughout that time, while I was using my camera and I was shooting, I started noticing while I was out at the fields, I saw a lot of other people shooting and using their cameras as well. And what I noticed is I wasn't seeing a lot of the cameras that I see here on YouTube out in the actual field. I wasn't seeing that. And, you know, it kind of got me, you know, thinking a little bit more about the average person, the average Joe Schmo out here that, you know, is just trying to do this for fun, hobby, getting into sports photography or whatever the case. I noticed that people were shooting with Canon Rebel cameras from like the T7i. I saw the T7i out there. I saw the T7 and the T5. I saw those out there. I even saw the Nikon D, please, I hope I say this right, the 3500. It could have been, yeah, I think it was the 3500. But I think that's what I saw out there. I saw a handful of other Sony cameras. I saw a lot of point and shoots like the ZV-1. It wasn't the ZV-1. It was a silver camera. Could have been a Sony or a Canon. But I saw a lot of those little silver point and shoot cameras out there as well. Now, mind you, these were people just like myself taking photos of the team, taking photos of their, you know, their child or the team in general, or just whatever's going on out there, you know, and experiencing, you know, just taking photos of the experience, the overall experience. And like I say, it got me to think about, you know, talking to you guys about making sure you buy the right camera for yourself, because what I seen out in the field is not what I saw here on YouTube or what I see here on YouTube, because on YouTube, we typically see a lot of expensive cameras. We see a lot of, you know, of the newest and the latest and greatest and so forth and so on. And then in turn, that makes a lot of people want to go out and buy those, you know, expensive cameras. And then they end up doing average things like me, going out and just taking photos of the team, family, you know, friends or whatever, and doing a little bit of light sports photography, right? Just to satisfy, you know, my team, my kids, myself, you know, and having our memories and stuff, right? And I know now for a fact that I don't need a $4,000 camera if I'm not a professional. So again, if you're a professional, you just move on, right? I'm not at the Braves game taking photos. You see what I'm saying? I'm at the travel ball game. I'm at the high school game taking photos, and I don't need a $5,000 setup or a $6,000 setup to do that. So if you're a professional, go on about your business, right? And I noticed that when I was out there, and I saw people genuinely enjoying their cameras and genuinely having fun with their cameras, man. And I just thought it was great to see people, just everyday average people, just out here taking photos and just rocking out, man, with the gear that they had, right? With the gear that they had. They didn't have any other cameras and things that I be seeing here on YouTube. And I just wanted to throw this out there to the average person that's getting ready to jump into something like sports photography, or just a little bit of light photography in general. Be mindful of what it is that you are about to go out there and purchase. Be very, very mindful of what you're going to do with the camera, why you need the camera, and what are you hoping to produce with the camera. Hopefully that made sense. For me, I still rock a Canon 90D. I think this camera came out in 2019, right? I rock a Canon 90D, and my setup is a 70-200. Used, might I ask. Both of these are used. This is refurbished, and this is a used lens. You see what I'm saying? And I'm rocking out just like this. And this is the setup that I use for sports photography. Now, I know some people may say, but Jay, that's a little expensive because, you know, the camera's body is still a little expensive, even though it's refurbished, and this lens is still going to run you $300 or $400. That's a little expensive, right? I know you can say that. But this is an old camera. This is a camera that came out in 2019. This is not a 2025 camera, 2023, 24, whatever. This is an old camera. And people were out at the game shooting with cameras older, or at least I feel older than this camera. You know what I'm saying? And having a great time, man. So the moral of the story, right? The moral of the story is do not get caught up in the hype out here on YouTube with these cameras, bro. It's, man, look, don't get caught up in the hype, man. There's a lot of good cameras out here too. You know, Sony makes a lot of great cameras. All these camera brands make a lot of good cameras. And there's a lot of other cameras that I want to test out, try, and that I want for myself as well, right? But for the most part, bro, listen, be mindful of what it is that you are about to buy. And I'm talking to the person, talking to you, because I know you're about to get ready to buy you a camera. Be mindful of the camera that you are about to buy. Please know what it is that you're going to do with it, why you need it, what you're trying to use it for, what you're trying to accomplish with it. You're going to be doing video, photo. Just please dig into that, man, and don't get caught up looking around and find yourself buying yourself a Sony A7C or something. Not saying that camera's bad because it's an awesome camera, A7C II. All those cameras are awesome, right? But don't find yourself buying a camera that you saw on YouTube and then you get to where you're going or you want to do what you're doing and come to find out that camera ain't what you know, it don't turn out to be what you wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not your cup of tea on the back end, if that makes sense, right? Buy something that you want, something that you want to get into, something that you want to learn with, and something that you want to grow with. I bought the Canon 90D because this was a dream camera of mine from the day that it came out. And at the time when I bought this camera, I could have bought any camera that I wanted, but I still bought this one. And I'm still happy with my purchase. Every time I pick this camera up, I get happy. Every time I take this camera out with this setup, I get happy. Every time I pull it out of my bag to shoot any photos of my kids or anybody on the team, I get happy. I enjoy messing around with the buttons. I enjoy looking through the viewfinder. I enjoy looking at the screen, taking the photos, seeing what the video. I enjoy everything about this camera. And I think that's what you guys need to understand when it comes down to this camera game and picking a camera. Make sure you buy a camera that you are going to enjoy and that you don't mind doing all the research and learning all the ins and outs about the camera, learning this camera's strengths and its weaknesses. Because I know the strengths of this camera and I also know the weaknesses of this camera, right? But I also know how to work around the weaknesses, and that's food for thought. Anyway, UPS right here, he about to make a lot of noise, so I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. It's been your boy Jay. I'm gonna get up out of here. Peace.